Hey everybody, Seth Dailey with the Dailey Group of Keller Williams Gateway here. And I just wanted to give you a couple thoughts on what's going on in the market right now. We've had a super busy summer, a lot of headlines about real estate. Obviously, there's headlines about a bunch of different things going on right now, but real estate has kind of remained front and center. And I want to walk through some of the data that I look at and some data that I've been looking at recently, just in terms of what's happening in the market. And you'll notice that there might be a little bit of a trend where we're actually not sure if what we're seeing right now is seasonality and a summer lull, or if we're actually seeing perhaps a change in the market. But I'll walk you through sort of what I look at and what difference that might make for you and real estate decisions for you and those that you love. So this is an example of a local market report that I look at on a regular basis, and this one just happens to be for July, right? These always lag about a month, but July 2021 for Baltimore County. And obviously we work all around the Baltimore metro area, and data certainly looks a bit different when I look at Hartford County, Cecil County, Howard County, Anne Arundel County. But for right now, looking at Baltimore County, here's a couple of the trends. Number one, new listings are down. Okay, so we almost consider this a bit of a summer lull, but listings are down from last month almost 15%. Now, interestingly, we're up a little bit year over year. So year over year, we're seeing a little bit more inventory, a little bit of lightening, and yet there's been a correction from what happened sort of the first half of this year, the second quarter, going into the start of the third quarter. New pendings, interestingly, are down in both areas, right? So overall, we're watching the market slow down a little bit in terms of what's going under contract. So pendings are going down, and then we're seeing a shift in terms of closings. They're down month over month, but they're still up year over year. So closings are up year over year, but they're down about 5% when we think about where they were from June 2021. Here's what it looks like on the chart here is we're seeing this little shift right here, right? The market has been steadily moving its way up, and we're watching a little bit of a shift. And again, this is the conversation that I would have. And I'm going to try to speak to both parties out there, right? Because I send these videos out to our buyers. I send these videos out to our sellers. And sometimes it feels like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. The reality is there is a perspective from both sides of this. Here's the first thing I'm going to say if you are a seller. If you are waiting for the market to get better, I want you to ask yourself, do you know exactly what you're waiting for? There are fundamentals in this market right now that say inventory is at an all-time low. There is a reason that if there's a property you're not going to stay in for the next 5 to 10 years, now is a time that I want you to consider really whether or not you want to own that property. I've gotten calls this past week from some of our clients that own rental properties in the area, and they're like, is now the right time? Like, my lease is coming up. I think I might want to cash out on this thing and put money somewhere else. There's some other investments. And that's a great conversation to have right now. All I'd say is this: it's worth the conversation if you're not planning to be in your property, your home, or a rental property long term. If you are a buyer right now, or if you've been considering buying, here's the phrase that I've heard recently, and I think it's true, is right now, this summer, it feels a little bit like the opportunity for the second chance buyers. What do I mean? Well, so go back to this little bit of a lull. And by the way, this chart is about a month behind, right? We're recording this in August, and the data that we have is only out through July. Yet we've seen the exact same trend in August. August is a bit more of a sleepy month in the market. And what that means is that we're watching some homes stay on the market a bit longer. Things that would have gone off the market in 2 or 3 days are now on the market 7 days. And stuff that would have been on 7 days is now on 14 to 21 days. What that means is that if you are a buyer, but you've been feeling discouraged because maybe the financing options that you've had is like, man, I feel like I'm always the bridesmaid and never the bride at this thing. It's never been my turn to get the house. We're seeing a little bit more flexibility in the market right now. And that still means that we still wait a little bit. We find the properties that have been on the market a week, and we wait to make offers on those properties when we can be a bit more competitive. But there are strategies right now that were not working 2 or 3 months ago that are working right now for our buyers. And if you're finding yourself in that situation, or you've got friends or family who are, I'd love to have a conversation, love to explain what's going on in the market and really dial it in to your exact zip code, the exact neighborhood you're thinking about buying in, because real estate is local, and that means seriously down to the school district, down to the neighborhood. We're seeing changes in different pockets. But overall, we are watching this market start to shift. And again, I can't tell you if this is going to be a small shift and it's just going to be a seasonality shift. and it's going to pop back up after Labor Day, which has happened in the past, or if we're actually seeing, the proverbial roller coaster where we're near the top of a market and what happens on the other side. Obviously, there is no crystal balls, and yet we're looking at the market every chance that we get and trying to make the best decisions that we can, offer the best advice to our clients. And love to have a conversation with you. If there's real estate questions that you have, or you just want to know how this might impact your own real estate portfolio or your real estate plans in the future. Hope you're doing well. Hope to talk to you.